What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Unorthodox Savings. Today's episode is definitely one of the more weirder ones I've ever done, but probably one of the most important ones if everything goes according to plan. So just today, Joe Rogan posted on his Instagram, and I have right here, which I'll put up on the screen, is Trump says he wants a 4-hour debate moderated by Joe Rogan. U.S. President Donald Trump indicated that he's open to an election debate between him and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, moderated by Joe Rogan. Before I go any further, I just want to get a full disclaimer. This video will be non-biased. There will be absolutely no biases to either side. Politics is not something I'm going to bring into this channel, but this is going to relate very much so to the stock market and future plans of the economy. So I do want to talk about a few things if this is going to take place. So, as some of you may know, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. I enjoy him as an entertainer. I like him as a commentator on UFC. He has the Fear Factor and a few other shows. He's also a stand-up comedian. And those of you who are fans of him know that he's a pretty out there dude. So it's pretty interesting that he's able to have this as a platform. This is important because Spotify stock could shoot up. The reason being is because Joe Rogan decided a $100 million deal with Spotify. This was before this article came out, but still just as important because now Joe Rogan is a potential spokesperson for Spotify, giving the stock a chance to shoot up. Number two, one thing you have to realize is that 4 hours is a very long time. So if this is the three of them in the room talking, they're going to talk about the economy, the stock market, the housing market. Anything negative, anything positive is going to be said about the economy. Also, this is my assumption here, so don't take this as a fact, is they're probably going to have a fact checker in the room, or at least somebody on there. There's a guy named Jamie on the show who searches things up on Google. I'm sure he's going to be in the room, but they'll probably have somebody with a more professional title. One thing you have to realize is this is a debate. So the whole point of these two sitting in this room debating each other is to say this guy's doing this wrong and this guy's doing this wrong and this is my ideas, this is my ideas. So you're going to get a good look at who's going to do what with the market and whether you agree with it or not. So it's going to help you defer your own personal finance. This being said, a lot of people don't do their own research for stocks in the markets and what they're doing. A lot of people don't have enough time. They have a family, they have a social life, they work 2 jobs because they have to pay the bills. A lot of people just don't have the actual time to be able to do research. I'm a 21-year-old kid. I'm good at investing in the stock market, so I have time to do this research. So a lot of people who are now driving, commuting to work can now listen to this podcast and get a 4-hour debate of what's going on. Now, why is this important that I'm saying this? Because hedge funds, larger companies are also realizing this. They're going to adapt to whatever is going to be said by one of these two. And now that the general population is there, anybody who's investing is now going to take concern. Because if one person in that room says something like, oh, well, I'm not sure what the stock market's going to do once I get into office, they might panic and sell. So you have to be ready for anything. Number 3, I'm going to keep short. Number 3 is just in the beginning of all of Joe Rogan's podcasts, he has a list of ads. Now, most of his ads aren't actually in the stock market. There's kind of like smaller companies, but just in case any of his advertisements are in the stock market, those stocks have a potential ability to rise. Number 4, regardless of what happens during this interview and debate, is if something happens to the point where the election's basically decided, you're probably thinking, well, now what? And I'm going to read up a few statistics for you guys, just so you guys know what has happened in the past. Also, there's a historical statistic saying that the president who is in office now, if that president wins again, the stock market is going to be more stable. This being said is because that a lot of people already know what this president is about and what they plan on doing. Regardless of how you view politics, like I said, I'm remaining unbiased on this. That just happens to be the historical data. The reason why this is true is because if somebody else is from a different party, so say a Democrat or Republican, they're having opposing views to what's already set in place, meaning that there's uncertainty into what's going to happen with taxes, the housing market, the stock market, and anything else that is if money related. Okay guys, this is not one of my usual videos I'd ever make. I mean, it is called Unorthodox Savings, so I guess it does make a little bit of sense. I am a fan of Joe Rogan, so once I saw this, I was very excited to talk about it, and I said, how can I relate this to the markets? Because this is a big deal. This is not something that happens very often. We actually have a podcast host / UFC commentator / Fear Factor host / stand-up comedian and everything else hosting a presidential debate. Presidential Debate. But this is very cool. And if this were to ever happen, I also have a few stocks in Spotify. So personally, I'm just kind of looking to where this would go. Now, I don't have anything serious. I think I have like 2 or 3 shares of Spotify. I only think I switched over. I really like the app. I believe in the company. So we're gonna see how this goes. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate all the support again. If you want to get started investing today, I'll leave a link down the Webull where you can get 2 free stocks. If you use $100 to start investing today, one of those stocks will be worth up to $1,400. I'll also leave a link down to Morning Brew. Morning Brew is a morning newsletter. All you need is your email. So use your email. It tells you what the markets are doing, 5 to 7 points of what's going on in the world, and bullet points below that explaining. And then they also do free giveaways and everything on the actual email. But I'm also doing my own giveaway where they have a tier list. So if anybody's interested in that, follow me on Instagram. I post all my stories about daily. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.